Well, happy Friday, everyone. My name is Mark Baston, and I'd like to welcome each of you to the Man Group's summer series of free webinars. Today's webinar is titled Securing Buy-in, Part 4 of the 7 Steps to Manager Success. We're glad you're here with us today. In about 47 seconds, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Dan Mann. But before I do, couple housekeeping items. First, I want to make sure everyone can see the presentation properly before we get started. On your screen right now, you should see a team of rowers. Let me know if you're not. Secondly, on your control panel, near the bottom, you should see the word chat. And if you'll click on this tab, it's going to open up a dialog box for you to submit questions or offer comments. Lastly, just so we don't have any background noise, I do have everyone muted. So if you have any questions that you would like answered, please just, again, use that chat portion of your control panel and we'll get to them at the end of the presentation. Again, we welcome you. And now I'd like to turn it over to the founder and owner of the Man Group, Dan Mann.
Thanks, Mark. Man, your commitment to precision is pretty impressive. 47 seconds. You know, to be able to do something like that says an awful lot. Listen, we're glad to have all of you here today for our summer series on the 7 secrets to management success. We are really committed to this topic, believing that the store manager is the secret to retail excellence. So if you're on the call today and you're a retail store manager or an owner, we're glad to have you. Looking forward to spending some time with you talking about how to secure buy-in to your team. Just in case you've missed any of our previous sessions, which are, by the way, available to go back and review, at the end of our session today, we'll show you how to do that. I want to quickly review the 7 secrets to management success that this is in context. The first secret is setting the bar, which is you as a manager setting the standard so that people understand what is expected of them. The second step to management success is evaluating activity against the standard. What are your people doing against the standard that you've set as the expectation? Once you've done that, how to remove obstacles. What is it that causes underperformance? What is it that causes your team to not live up to the expectation? And how do you remove those obstacles so that people can be successful? Which brings us to our topic today, getting buy-in, which we'll jump back to in just a few moments. Next week, we're going to be talking about staff selection. Who should you be hiring? Who are they? What are they like? What's the skill set? What are their tendencies? And how do you find them? Once you've got the right team, motivation and discipline is the 6th secret to management success, motivating and driving great performance in your team. And then the final secret to management success is communication effectiveness, which we believe is the single most important aspect of leadership in a retail store. Glad you're with us, and we're looking forward to getting into the 4th secret to management success, getting buy-in. What do we mean by buy-in? It's having people invested, on board, unconditionally committed to your team. This commitment is a big word. You know, when you've got people hired, you've got people working for you, and you've got varying levels of commitment. That commitment looks like different levels of contribution, different levels of performance. Your higher committed people do better than your lower level committed people. Our job is to increase that commitment and increase buy-in, which ultimately we know is going to increase performance. Look at John Maxwell's law of buy-in. He says the leader finds the dream and then the people. The people find the leader and then the dream. Now, this is something for us to reflect on, because in today's topic, there is no more important role for you as a store manager, as a leader of a team, than to get people on board, and people want to follow a great leader. Now, while this may seem like a little high level stuff here, and you may be thinking to yourself, now wait a minute, we're talking about retail, right? Well, yeah, we are talking about retail. And at the same time, I find that people want to work at a very high level. No matter what job they have, they want to know that what they're doing is contributing to something really meaningful. And people want to be engaged at all levels. They don't want just a job, just a paycheck. You may be cynically believing that's the case, but I can tell you, people want to be engaged at a very high level. People want to be doing something that's worthwhile. something that's meaningful. And for that to happen, in order to truly motivate people, you must engage their left brain, you must engage their right brain. That left brain is the analytical, science, math, objective, specific. You gotta engage the facts. But people also want to have that right brain engaged. The passion, the meaning, the subjectivity, the feeling. And when you can put these two things together with a great vision, with real passion, it's amazing how you can get people enrolled, bought in, signed on, and really highly committed to something that for them feels even more meaningful. Your team needs the vision and the leader in order to buy in. Crucial that we have both. Fantastic quote here. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Now this slide really shows your role, store manager. Translating vision into reality. That is the ultimate essence of a brand. A brand is a feeling. A brand is an emotion. A brand is a promise. Now at the retail level, that's where we actually create that vision into reality. Unfortunately, the job of a manager sometimes descends down into the mundane. All the things that we've got to do, whether you're running a store, supervising a sales team, you got supplies to deal with, you got sales quotas to deal with, you got to deal with training. Sometimes your job is as simple as making the coffee or changing the light bulbs. When you get thinking about your work and it becomes routine and it becomes mundane, it's crucial that you remember the higher calling that we're doing in this job. What is that higher task? If you're in the running industry, the job that you have, what you offer people is oftentimes a life-changing entry into physical fitness. It's how people begin to get healthy. It's how people just get started building more confidence. The great show, the TV show, The Biggest Loser, an example of people transforming themselves, transforming their self-image, in fact, transforming their very body. And the running industry is oftentimes that beginning into a life of physical fitness. It is life-changing for people. If you're in the cycling industry, man, what an incredible commitment you make to your community, to the environment, to changing people's management of stress and their health. It is truly an amazing commitment to a world in which we live by being involved in the bike industry. If you're in the outdoor industry, families, getting people outside, getting people spending time together, getting away from the TV, getting away from their computers, and getting in touch with nature. Each of these retail careers is truly a life-changing experience for the consumers that interface with us. And what we must create as we deal with our staff is have people get in love with and connect with what they're doing that goes beyond the folding of clothes and the changing of light bulbs, and a reminder that they are in the life-changing, life-inspiring business. You know, psychologists and doctors spend their time trying to get people to have paradigm shifts and change their perspective. And sometimes a pair of running shoes or a bicycle or a tent can do just that. And it's crucial that as we remember our job in retail store management or in sales leadership, what we are doing is we've got to remind people of the bigger picture, the higher calling that we've signed up for. So your vision must be inspiring. John Kennedy was talking about putting a man on the moon before the end of the 60s and returning him safely to the earth. An inspiring, compassion, passion-filled vision. Martin Luther King Jr. talked about changing men's attitudes so that men could be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Now, yes, these were very inspiring visions, but they were also brought by very inspiring people. And the real secret here for you, who's listening to this today, you got to have that inspiring vision offered by a compelling leader. Now, what makes a compelling leader? Well, a compelling leader is oftentimes driven by someone who is passionate about an inspiring vision. So I'm questioning you, manager, sales leader, whoever you are on this call right now. Are you personally inspired by a meaningful vision? Because that's what people want to sign up for. Are you into something that's exciting to you? Does it drive you? Does it get you up? Does it keep you up? Does it drive your actions? Because people want to fall behind a passionate leader who's got a great vision. And it starts and ends with you, manager. And that is crucial. People want to sign up. The signing up is the thing we're talking about. When we talk about buy-in, we're talking about enrollment. It is an optional exercise that your staff has the right to decline. And if your people are not bought in, I challenge you. Are you compelling? And is the reason why you're compelling because of a great, meaningful, connected, inspiring vision? And it starts and ends with you. But remember, this enrollment is a choice, much like going to university. Just like, well, I must tell you, I sent 2 of my boys off to school just in the past week. And unfortunately, we've chosen a sad university choice here, but never mind any Texas Aggies out there. People choose to go to the university of their choice. They spend money, they move, they opt in for classes, they begin to wear the shirts and the colors, and they go cheer for the football team because it is a choice. It is an enrollment. It is a decision that an adult makes. I'm going to go follow this team. I'm going to follow this school. I'm going to pursue this choice. It is an enrollment. Getting buy-in from people recognizes that it is an option for them and they opt in. That's what we must be doing in leadership. Well, how do we go about doing this? I can tell you the choice for you is to come up with that vision. And I ask you on the call today, do you know what your vision is? Are you personally in touch with your company's vision? Is it inspiring? Can you state it as an elevator speech? Can you depict your company's vision on the back of a napkin? Can you state it? Can you iterate it, reiterate it, restate it, retell it, and reiterate it again? You know, it is important that you know how to tell your vision, to tell your company's vision. And if you don't have that, and you're trying to get people bought in, the question might be, buying into what? What is the thing I'm getting people signed up for? What you need is an authentic culture. You need to create a culture that permeates all of your business. It is that brand identification. And I'll tell you, there's a company that has done a better job than just about anybody else in creating a brand identification and a brand culture. Nike just celebrated 25 years of the phrase, just do it. It's hard to believe it's been around that long. But I'll tell you something about the Nike company is they have created that as a way of being in their organization. This is the Nike campus. I've been fortunate enough to do some work with Nike and been on that campus. The way they've designed that campus speaks to the concept of just do it. They don't use elevators. Everything is stairs. Their walkways are not smooth surfaces. They're uneven brick surfaces. All of that designed to make it difficult to pull a rollerboard behind you. So you're going to lift it up and carry it. You're not going to push the elevator to go from a meeting on the 4th floor to a meeting on the 12th floor. No, you're going to get outside of the building you're in and walk across campus to another building for your meeting, because oftentimes adjacent departments aren't even in the same building. They strategically located across campus. Why? Because you're going to have to get out and walk and go to your meeting. They don't make it easy. They make it challenging at Nike. Internally, they make it a challenge to remind everybody that works there, we know life is hard. Just do it. We know that it's tough to get across campus when it's raining and there's no covered walkways. Just do it. We know it'd be easier for you to pull this bag behind you on rollers, but you can't do it. You got to pick it up and carry it. Just do it. I know you got to go across campus and walk a half a mile to your next meeting and you only have 5 minutes to do it. Just do it. This is an example of a company that has created a culture that is authentic. And so for you, if you're trying to get people bought into your vision, know your vision, state your vision, and create it as a culture so that it is authentic throughout all of the things that you do. The way your back room is organized, the way you take breaks, the way you spend your time, the way you communicate. Is it reflective of your brand? Is it reflective of your vision? That is the crucial element for us today. Communicating a vision is not so much about the words you say. It's not about the words. It's not even about how you say it. The key factor in communicating a vision is who you are. So manager, sales manager, retail manager, understand your vision and make sure it is in your DNA. It is in the way you act, the way you think, so that you become that compelling leader with an inspiring vision that people want to sign up for. That will make you effective, and it'll be amazing how you'll be able to qualify to lead your team. We here at the Man Group are committed to this level of leadership in retail, and that's why we've created Man University, a program built for leadership and profitability. These are some of the topics we're going to be covering. The course is held here in beautiful Asheville, North Carolina on October 7th, 8th, and 9th. And we would love to have you consider joining us for that. We've got some really exciting people already signed up, and there's still some spaces. If you'd like to know more about it, we'll be happy to tell you. Listen, we have several minutes here available for some question and answer, and Mark is going to facilitate that. If you do have questions, there is a chat space on the control panel on your webinar. Please feel free to type any questions you have. Mark, if you facilitate that for us, let us know if you have any questions. We'll be happy to answer them in our time remaining.
Sure, Dan, thanks. Yeah, we've actually got 3 questions so far. The first question is, how do I get my right brain and left brain employees to work together for one vision?
Well, yeah, good question. And let me encourage you, if you have others, keep typing. We've got time today for questions. Right brain and left brain employees, man, good. First of all, lucky for you. Good job that you have hired well, that you've got a broad representation of people working for you. That left brain employee who's analyzing, who is critically considering and evaluating, you need that person. They're going to want to know the specifics of your vision. They're going to want to know the details, what it looks like, how to do it, how do we measure it, how do we know it's working. They're going to have that critical thought that says, I'm not just going to get signed up for something exciting. I want to get something that means something, and I want the specifics. Your other side, they're going to get into the passion of it. Our job as a manager is to go between both sides of the brain and encourage people to tolerate and listen to each other, and you be that translator in between. That's a good question. Thanks for asking.
All right, let's see. Number 2 is authenticity. Great word. Where do I start creating it?
Well, if you didn't get anything out of today's session, it starts with you. Starts with you, the manager. Authenticity. So the question is, if you've got a methodology that says we're committed to going outdoors and we're committed to space, time outside. Well, what about you? Are you camping? Are you spending time in the outdoors? Do you have personal stories of your use of the product that you sell? Have you tried the very things that you're, recommending to your customers? So the authenticity begins with you. And then secondly, I'd take a look at your hiring practices to make sure that you've got other people who are, following with that brand as well. So always check your activities against the ideology. Good question.
And the third question we have so far is, how do I cultivate salespeople to represent our culture?
Well, you must be communicating the culture. The elements of the culture that matter to you must be put into some sort of quantifiable formula so people can understand it. And it really begins, manager, with your hiring strategies. Your life is going to be so much easier as a manager if you hire well. You're going to either hire well or you're going to have to manage hard. I don't know, there's probably a good phrase for that, but bottom line for us is, if you bring in the right people and if you are thorough in your hiring to find people that match this culture, that are authentically already who you're looking for, then you're going to find that their sales activity is going to match their basic way of behaving. So I think it's in setting the standard, communicating, what the elements of the culture are that you want to see exhibited in behavior, and you certainly want to hire well.
Got one more question, Dan. How do you motivate other areas in your organization to buy in to the vision you established for your own department?
Wow, that's a fantastic question. I do know that there's at least one hotel chain, Marriott, I believe it is, that has a strategy for every single department in their organization to have a vision and to have a clear-cut mission for what they're doing. And those folks meet, I believe it is every quarter, to share each other's vision and mission with each other. So first of all, I think it's important that you communicate what your department's vision is to the other part of the organization and have the other part of the organization sign off and understand and agree to it. But everybody who comes in contact with your vision um, should be able to state it, be able to see it in your behavior, and certainly should be able to connect to it with it in some place. I think it's your job to communicate it compellingly. I think if you were going back to our Martin Luther King Jr. example, any time you heard him speak, anytime you saw him present his concepts, he hammered home the same message time and time and time again. And that consistency, I believe, is the secret. I think you want to be consistent and diligent to not just call a meeting and have a presentation about a vision every quarter, but I think it's something that in every conversation it would be something you would bring up just in your regular conversations that you would have. So I think it becomes part of your regular DNA, regular conversations with people throughout the company. Good question.
Okay, I think that's it for the questions. I want to thank everyone. If you do have a question later, please feel free to contact me. I'll be sending out a 5-question survey later this afternoon, so you'll have all my contact information, and we can definitely take care of any questions that follow this webinar. Just want to remind everyone that a week from today, as you can see on our next slide, we've got steps 5 and 6. And then the following Friday on September 6th, step 7 and conclusion. So you could sign up for those. I'll be sending out emails with registration information pretty much every Monday for those. And you can see at the bottom, there's the link to our YouTube channel. And on those channels, you'll see, on our channel, you'll see the recordings of each of the webinars that we've had so far on 7 steps to manager success. So again, we want to thank you for your time. Appreciate it. And we hope everyone has a fantastic day and a great weekend. Dan?
Thanks, everybody.